Hello, everyone. I'm Shalise Lambert, and today I wanted to share with you guys my funny story. So, my funny story takes place back when I was about 11 years old, and I had just got a brand new bike for Christmas. It was a big mountain bike, a 21 speed. It was my favorite colors, blue and black. And I was just really excited about my bike. Because I love to ride it all the time. And I had been begging my parents for a bike, and they were like, well, if you get good grades and you do what you're supposed to do, then you can get your bike. So I was like, okay. So I got my bike. Fast forward a little bit more. We lived in a one family house with me, my cousins, my aunt, my uncle, my grandparents, and my dad, my brother, and my mom. So it was a pretty cramped house, so it wasn't a lot of room for like toys and bikes and things like that. So there was things all over the place. And most of the time, our stuff was in the basement. That's where we would store any excess and items. So my bike spent most of the time in the backyard because it was easy for me to get it from the backyard. So this one night, I wanted to ride my bike. It was pretty late in the evening, but my parents let me play outside. It was summertime. We didn't have school, so I wanted to ride my bike. And they had put it in the backyard again. And my mom, she had a Ford Escort at the time, but the engine blew in the car, so it was parked in the driveway. And we had a really slim driveway, so for the most part, it took up most of the driveway. So what I did, I was looking to get past the car, but I knew if I went on the side of the car that I wouldn't have enough room to bring the bike on either side of the car. So me being the over imaginative kid that I was, I went through this over dramatic process of like doing the measurements and like shaping out how much space I had to pull my bike over the car. So I ran full speed to the top of the car and scoped out the dimensions, and well, maybe if I just popped the wheelie on my bike and rolled it up the front of the car, then I could roll it down the back of the car, just like I walked up to the top of the car. So I was like, after I was satisfied with my grandmaster plan, I said, okay, it's time to execute it. Well, let me go and put my things on. As soon as I got ready to get off of the car, I slid down the back window of the car and bang, like right into the back window. So I'm sitting there with my feet all in the air and crouched into the back of the car, and I panicked and I jumped up and I ran in the house really quickly so that I could like, I don't know what I was thinking. Like, I don't know if I was like panicked because I had just done something bad, or panicked because I was scared I was all cut and bruised up, or whatever. So I ran in the house and I filled up the tub with water, and I'm taking off my clothes, and there's like glass shards falling out of my socks, falling out of my shoes, falling out of my underwear. Like there's glass shards everywhere. And I sat in the tub and I crouched up real close with my knees to my chest, and I'm just kind of rocking. So my mom, she slowly walked into the door of the bathroom, opened the door, and she put the toilet seat lid down, and she sat there and she looked at me. And she says, "Are you okay?" And I looked at her slowly and I said, "Yes." And so she crouched down by the tub and she checked my arms and my legs and my back to make sure I didn't have any scratches or anything, which miraculously I didn't have anything at all. So then after that, she sat back on the toilet seat and she laughed and laughed and laughed and laughed. And I didn't find anything funny. I just kind of looked at her like, what are you laughing about? This is not a laughing matter. I could have died. Like, and she just kept laughing, and she said, well, I hope you learned your lesson. Don't climb on top of any more cars. And with that, she got up from the toilet and just closed the door. And I sat there for a moment, just kind of still shaken up and just blanked out into space because I'm like, I didn't get in trouble. I didn't get a beating. I didn't get on punishment or anything. Like I was scotch free, even though I just clearly smashed the back window of her broke down car. But I guess the fright of it all was enough lesson for me, and that was her lesson in it. So that's my funny story. And to all the kids out there, do not climb on top of cars because you just never know what might happen. Bye, guys.